Bonjour, c'est moi, Dene. Welcome back to another episode of Tell Me Why here on my channel. In the last episode, we finally arrived at the old house of the twins, where they experienced their loving but troubled childhood. And, well, guess what? The doors are locked. All of the doors are locked, and we had to find another way in. We are now under the house, and as you can see up above, there is a hatch. We're gonna have to open this hatch to get inside. The floor doesn't seem too good, just saying.
Tyler, are you in there? Tyler!
Coming.
Are you okay?
Olive, good to hear your voice again.
Yeah, same here.
So, coming in or what?
Just working up to it.
Well, we're here.
Here we are.
So, how do we get started?
We figure out what to keep, what to trash, and see what else this house might be trying to show us.
Okay, achievement unlocked, homecoming. Then let's take a look around the house.
Wow. It doesn't seem real.
Pretty run down, is what it is. Oh, by the
Of
way,
course. No lights, no power.
I think we left around Christmas time, judging by the decorations in the living room over there. We saw that while the camera was panning over. Oh.
Mary Ann's room.
Let's not go in there until we absolutely have to.
Agreed.
Is this maybe a sign that we will only enter this room in the last episode of the game, because this is a 3-part game? Maybe.
Ooh, this place needs some serious cleaning. Or an exorcist.
Or both. By the way, some interesting, I don't know, clocks? Some interesting wheels on the door. Very weird. Okay, this is where we came in, I think. Yeah, this is where we came in.
Alright, let's see. Broken shelf, broken jar,
Broken jar,
and
broken jar.
the washing machine. Broken. The dryer never worked to begin with.
Marianne thought dryers were straight up evil. Energy hogs.
I hated hanging drippy laundry. I refused to change for a few weeks once, so I wouldn't have to do it.
That's the way to do it. Machine repair. Sam K. Robert, Texas for winter. Brooks, too expensive. Tessa. Oh, so Tessa, the one who drove Tyler to the hospital, is actually quite handy. Interesting. But apparently she never got to fix the washing machine, right? Because it's still marked with a question mark on the little note over here. So I'm guessing, yeah, we made some plans but never followed through with them. Because something happened, obviously. Alyson's spring boots? Spring boots? Heist cache? Okay. Yeah, interesting stuff in here. They hid all of their little treasures all over the place, apparently. Like children do.
We should take down the creepy masks if we don't want to scare the buyers away.
Oh, so now you don't want to scare someone with those masks.
Hey, I just put on the mask and pretended to be a warrior. You were the one who got freaked out by it.
Right.
Not that she ever let me wear him very long.
Yeah, some ornaments hanging on the shelves, okay. I guess we disappeared. Well, the bad thing happened around Christmas time.
This bathroom still smells like Marianne.
A good scrub and we'll be rid of that too.
We were so competitive about who measured taller. Like, we actually had anything to do with it.
And after all that, it ended in a tie.
Yeah, none of that crazy stretching I did made any difference.
You know, it's always weird to see a house being left so abruptly. You know, with things still in place, with furniture, and, well, sometimes even, well, I don't know about this case, but sometimes even, by the way, something's glowing. Okay. I don't know what that is, but yeah, but it's weird seeing, you know, sometimes even still food on the table. Like, why did they leave so abruptly? You know, well, we know that something very bad happened here. It makes sense that they disappeared, but it's still weird and creepy to see that when you come back later.
What are we gonna do with all her jewelry?
Well, I'm certainly not gonna wear it.
Donation pile it is, then. Handmade soap. Still here after 10 years. Impressive.
You could say that about the entire house.
Wow. I forgot all about her weird concoctions.
And how she was always testing them on us.
Hmm.
Like we were lab rats.
There were so many times I looked in this mirror hoping somehow it'd show me something different.
Well, now it does. Okay, nothing over here. Let's go into the kitchen then. Oh, can open the drawer.
After all this time, I thought I'd feel more prepared to deal with this mess.
String, glue, duct tape. The holy trinity of house repair.
Marianne loved having something to fix.
Let's go with this.
Yeah, well, she could have tried a little harder to fix her own head.
Can you picture Marianne talking to a shrink?
No. And speaking of...
Therapy's expensive, and I'm fine.
What was she hoping to do with all these jars?
She used to barter for our clothes with homemade jam.
She tried everything to make ends meet.
Well, not everything.
Yeah, so we definitely had some serious issues in the past. Oh, best mom.
Best mom. You think we ever really believed that? Or were we just trying to make her happy?
Either way, it wasn't true.
Sponsorized by the local goblins.
Guess we never had time to complete the collection.
These came out of one of the prize machines at the Vecchi's store, right?
Yeah, you'd slide the quarters inside on the little tray, and then magic, out pops a sticker.
Maybe we can complete the collection now. If we get to the store, and if the store still has this little prize machine.
2005.
Of course.
So something interesting. Oh, yeah, something interesting on on March 7th. Yeah, the twins' birthday. That's the secret password for the press kit on the website. Fix the window. Okay. Yeah, well, March 25th.
After all this time, I thought I'd feel more prepared to deal with this mess.
Let's go back to March, because I didn't properly look at the 7.
Hey, she drew some little hearts here. Oh,
What?
March 7th.
Oh.
Hey, that reminds me. I owe you like 10 birthday gifts.
I think we can let that slide.
What? You don't want me to buy you presents?
You're gonna need your cash to get started. We've got a lifetime for gifts.
Okay. But no presents from you either, then.
Deal.
Okay. So let's go back to February. Sarah 4 p.m. yeah, I'm gonna do it like that. Sarah 4 p.m. cancelled. Miss Doyle 11 a.m. cancelled. Rosa 3 p.m. Helen 5 p.m. cancelled. Okay.
The last few months are almost all blank. Only a few appointments. Most of them canceled.
What kind of appointments?
Hairdressing, I think.
Oh yeah, she did that for a while.
Mm-hmm. We love you, Mom. Me too, but don't write here. Okay. Oh, yeah. So I guess that's it then.
After all this time, I thought I'd feel more prepared to deal with this mess.
We can talk to Allie. Yeah, let's do that now. Why not?
How you feeling about being back?
I thought I knew what to expect, but everything keeps catching me by surprise. My nerves are completely raw.
I get it.
How about you? You okay?
Honestly not sure how I feel yet. I'm just trying to think of it as an empty house.
Yeah. An empty house full of actual ghosts.
Hopefully they're friendly ghosts.
Yeah. It's better to have friendly ghosts than to have a poltergeist, right? Or a demon. Although I think we will find some demons of the past.
She pinched every penny.
Like the crazy coupon kings. An apology letter. Hey Mom, we are sorry the vase got broke. We didn't know you love it so much. We need to be careful and not act up in the window room. Next time we will try and use good judgment. Please forgive us for doing bad things. I'm sorry too. I'm sorry too. We should be more careful. I'm very sad we made you cry so much. We should play outside instead. I will tell Ollie not to be wild all the time. We aren't going to do it anymore. We are sorry. Bad judgment. Good judgment.
What are you reading?
Oh.
A letter we wrote her. To apologize for breaking that stupid vase, remember?
Bore your kids into good behavior. Great parenting strategy.
Old textbooks. Tessa gave them to us, right?
Yeah, she thought we were gifted.
We were. Just not like she thought. You think she knew we were sharing answers?
We shared for fun. We both knew them all anyway.
I don't remember these.
It's probably one of Marianne's unfinished masterpieces.
There's 2 of them. Maybe they were us. In some weird way that only made sense to Marianne. Wow. I'm so embarrassed for us. Mini Da Vinci's we were not.
She saved every drawing we ever did.
There's a couple of these I might keep.
Hold on to the good memories. Or as Janet Jackson would say, you don't have to hold on to the pain to hold on to the memories.
She took so many pictures.
Yeah. Like she had to document every second of our lives.
Oh.
It made her happy. And it was kind of nice to see her smile.
I guess.
You okay?
All these happy pictures. They look so sad now. So staged.
I know.
A lot of Polaroids. Maybe the mother was related to Max Caulfield. Oh! Where is it? Where is it? I can focus on the bond, judging by the sparkling around the corners, but I don't... Oh, maybe I have to go in further.
She was trying to save the planet way before Al Gore made it cool.
Has Al Gore ever made anything cool?
Nah.
Man, bear,
I guess
pig.
she was right about one thing. But you can't really blame anyone for not listening to crazy Marianne Ronan.
I didn't realize how much I missed the smell of firewood.
I miss the cold winter nights curled up here. With big mugs of hot cocoa.
Yeah. Marianne was so tired she was usually asleep on the couch.
Ah, that's why it was so nice.
Mm.
No Marianne.
We'd use our voice so we didn't wake her up.
And then we'd be up all night telling stories. And watching the fire die. And Marianne was none the wiser.
Ah!
Mom? About me joining the hockey team? Mom!
Sorry, what? Not now. Maybe next year.
But you promised!
Keep whining, and my next year will become never.
Can you cut my hair?
Your hair is fine.
But I want to cut it short. Really short.
What? Look, I'm tired, and I'm busy. Let's talk about this later.
You always say that.
Marianne said no to everything. Made me so pissed.
She was always on edge those last few months.
Yeah, and completely deaf to everything I was telling her I needed.
She pretty much always said no to me too.
True, but it felt personal with me.
Mom of the Year. But for some reason, very off topic, but I do like the ornaments on the couch. The bears. Just saying. After this little... yeah. Bad memory. Can I talk to Alyson? No. So that means the only option would be going upstairs, right? I think so, at least. Because we shouldn't go into Marianne's room. Not just yet. We should do that last, Alyson said. So, we're gonna go upstairs. Let me take a look at anything on the walls. I don't think so, right?
I'm sure it's still there. I should check our bedroom upstairs.
We will. Don't worry, we will. Just gonna check out everything else first. You already know. Also, I wonder if all of those numbers play a role, play an important role, because numerology was pretty big in the Life is Strange games, and I don't know, considering the fact that the twins' birthday is the password for the secret press kit you can find on the official website, I do have a feeling that those numbers might actually play a bigger part in Tell Me Why as well.
Where'd you come from?
A Tale of Two Swords. Okay, let's go into
If you don't come up soon, I'm gonna take whatever I want from our bedroom.
No way. Wait for me.
I'm gonna check out the
Now this
bedroom.
feels like home.
By the way, I see footprints and handprints, I think, on the floor. At least that's what it seems like. Maybe I'm just imagining stuff, could also be.
Hey, the postcard we sent ourselves from Juno.
Forever alone.
What?
We barely had any friends. We even had to be our own pen pals.
Hello, Alyson and Ollie. We are writing from the past. What is it like in the future? Anyway, Juno is super cool. We took the tramway all the way up. Ollie was scared. Liar! We got some books, but Mommy went to the restaurant at night and forgot them. Oh, it was cool. There were a lot of whales on the ferry. No, there wasn't. They were in the water. Stupid. Anyway, here is a postcard to remind you how awesome we are. Especially me. A&O, Alyson and Ollie Ronan, 12 Canary Road, Delos Crossing, Alaska, and the zip code. Well, sometimes, if you don't have somebody else to talk to, you have to talk to yourself, right?
Wow. Look how small these beds are.
Otherwise, you would go
You're so
insane.
little.
Yeah.
What does the box say? Do not open. Dead. Wait. Dead
We never
inside.
appreciated this view as kids.
And something else. There's something we can observe right here. If it actually triggers, yes. Take a look at him.
Hey, you. I just found your twin under the house. He's seen better days.
Ah, okay, so that's what we
Oh, this one wasn't mine.
would have been supposed to see. Okay, his name. But it wasn't just faded, it was torn off, right? Which would make sense. Because Ollie is no more. Okay, so the rules. 1. Figure out who goes first with paper, rock, scissors, with silent voice. 2. Roll the dice and move the number you roll. 3. Pay to the tramway lady to climb up or down the mountain. 4. Take the luge to slide down the mountain. 5. If you get a 1... if you get a 1, you get to roll again. 6, if you get a 1 again, pick a motor car to climb up the mountain with a luge. I don't know what that is, to be honest. 7, if you roll a 6, become the Mad Hunter for 2 turns, say from shoot. 8, if you roll a 3, become a bear for 3 turns, can't use tramway or luge in any direction.
Look, it's the game we made. Luge and Tramway.
That game never made any sense.
Didn't stop us from playing all day.
Dude, we were kids. All we needed were rocks and bird feathers.
Almost like a cheap knockoff of what's it called? Snakes and Ladders? Is that what it's called? I don't know. I guess you know what game I mean. Not that original now, is it? Ooh, celestial map. Holy shit, you gotta pay attention to every spot of the room. There's even stuff plastered all over the ceiling. Well, not all over, but all over the ceiling. Some books down here, I think. What's this? Can we take a look at this?
Whenever we asked for a TV, she'd just bring home a big stack of books.
I think she did us a favor with that one.
You may not agree when we start digging into the HBO back catalog.
We'll see.
It seems like we got this book twice. Well, I can't get too close to it right now, but it seems like it's the same book that we just saw on the chair outside, right? Looks to be the same. A Tale of Two Swords. Maybe it's a trilogy, who knows?
Wow. Some of our old toys give me the creeps.
Yeah, I don't think I want to know what that's supposed to be. Schrodinger's cat. But I don't know what it says underneath that. we have a box here. Please handle with care. Fragile, thank you.
Look what I found.
Ah!
Only our greatest creation, the Book of Goblins.
Seriously? It was in that chest the whole time?
Press this button, I don't know what it's called, to open the Book of Goblins. Well, actually, I'm not using an Xbox controller. Shame on me. But yeah, it should be this button then, right?
All these stories.
I had ideas for so many more.
Marianne wrote a lot of them.
Yeah. It's one of the only times I remember her being at peace.
The Book of Goblins. Shit, okay, so we can read a lot of stuff. Table of contents. The frog earns the right to speak. The bear and the princess. The beaver fixes the house. The princess's party. The goblins and the ice cave. The princess and the two thieves. The princess makes new friends. The bear's big paws. The moon hag loses her name. The goblins trick the mad hunter. The pelican helps her friends. The goblins carn their voice. The big frog is punished. The goblins save the old beaver. The goblins irritate the ice king. The pelican forgives the goblins. The goblins meet the ice troll. The goblins trick the muskrat. The moose teaches the goblins, and the mad hunter gets his hand back. Can I read all of this? Buckle up, we're gonna be here for a while. No, just kidding. I'm gonna read all of this in this Let's Play. I really want to do that, but I think I'm gonna try to read the first 3 stories up until the beaver fixes the house. Let's see. The frog earns the right to speak. Once upon a time, in an ancient and deep forest, there lived a big frog in a small pond. She was a peaceful creature who spent most of her time eating, swimming, and sleeping. From the morning to the evening, she did everything the smaller frogs did, except she did it bigger. She ate more, she jumped farther, she was smarter, and she made much more noise. Everybody in the forest could hear her loud croaking, and everybody was happy that they could. You see, it was easy to get lost in the forest, but thanks to the frog's loud noises, you could just as easily find your way back to her pond. Maybe it would not have been the same if the big frog had kept singing during the night, but she was much too lazy an animal to stay active after dark. One day, an unknown visitor came to the forest for the first time. It was a young woman, dressed in a beautiful gown. She was walking fast through the woods, as if she was running away, and she never looked back. Many eyes spied the princess pass by, but no one dared to help her, for the mad hunter was on her trail. "This is not our business," they said, "and we had better look away." For the mad hunter was an unyielding man who loved nothing but hunting down prey for money and glory. Nothing could escape his piercing eye for long. So the princess walked alone, without help, until she was hopelessly lost in the big forest. Exhausted, she pressed on with no idea of where she was heading as the hunter drew ever closer, dogged in his pursuit. She continued this way until she heard a heavy croaking, far off to the left, so clear and loud that the princess immediately made for the source of the noise. A few minutes later, she reached the big frog in a small pond, and the frog looked at her with a gentle smile. "Help me, please," said the princess. "I need a place to rest and to hide." "Ribbit," answered the frog, and the princess frowned. "Please, stop making noise. The mad hunter is after me." "Ribbit," said the frog again, so loud that the princess had to cover her ears. The creature began to jump every which way. "What are you doing?" asked the princess. "Stop all that noise or he will find us." But the frog kept croaking and jumping around her, left and right, up and down. "Ribbit, ribbit," until the princess understood the meaning of all this fuss. Cautiously, the woman climbed on the back of the big animal, and then, with a leap, the frog set off away from the pond. The frog jumped so high and so far that even the hunter could not find where the princess had gone. With a few jumps, the princess was out of his piercing eye. A few jumps more, and she had vanished for good. The princess closed her eyes and let her clever mount carry her wherever the creature pleased. Less than an hour later, the big frog had reached the other side of the ancient forest, near the shores of the very deep lake. There, she landed without a noise in front of a big wooden house that had been abandoned. "Thank you," said the princess, covering the animal's snout with kisses. "I only wish you could speak, so I would have understood what you were trying to do sooner." As she pronounced those words, something incredible happened. The big frog was suddenly able to speak. Her first words startled the princess. "The mad hunter is always at my heels. Now you're safe, and I've had my revenge. You can stay in this house. It has been abandoned for a long time, and no one will look for you here." And then, without looking back, the big frog jumped back to the pond. And this is how the big frog saved the princess, and how she earned the right to speak. Interesting stories. I like reading stories. Okay, just two more, because I don't want to, stretch this to an insane extent. The Bear and the Princess. Once upon a time, in the ancient and deep forest, the old bear stood on the bank of the river, swiping at salmon on their way to the spawning grounds. Just as he'd got his paw on a particular fat one, he heard a woman shouting for help. He considered simply eating a salmon, but then she screamed again, and he lumbered over to investigate. After a short walk, he found the princess clinging to the top of the tree, while a wolf snarled and snapped at the base of the tree. Old Bear would normally not get in the middle of such a situation. After all, as a fellow predator, he understood the wolf's need to hunt. But when he saw the princess, he was struck by her beauty, and he knew he had to help. With a great roar, the bear heaved onto his hind legs, rising to his full height. The wolf snapped and snarled in his direction, but the bear roared again, and the wolf took off into the trees, tail between his legs. The old bear fell back down onto all fours and stared up at the princess. She regarded him fearfully. "You can come down," he said. "How do I know you didn't save me just so you could eat me yourself?" asked the princess. "I suppose this is a fair question," admitted the old bear, "but I promise I won't eat you." The princess had no reason to trust the old bear, except that he had kind eyes, and so she slowly made her way down the tree. When she reached the ground, the bear only watched her, and so she supposed she was not going to be eaten today. "Thank you," she told the old bear. "Of course," he said. "Can I walk with you back to your home?" "Of course," said the princess. And so the princess and the old bear walked together through the forest, back to the big wooden house. After that day, the princess would occasionally find gifts from the bear: a fresh-caught salmon, a handful of ripe berries, a newly bloomed bluebell. One spring, when a sudden thaw flooded the path out of the princess's home, the old bear was there, and she rode his back across the river. The old bear began to think that the princess should be his mate. After all, she had no mate, and she needed one, and he could keep her warm and provide her a much more suitable den, and catch fish for her and protect her from wolves. She, in turn, would brush out his fur and pick berries without smushing half of them, and scratch that one part of his back he couldn't reach. And with how she took care of the goblins, she would be an excellent mother for his cubs. One day, the old bear came with a ring of spruce and asked the princess to be his bride. "I'm sorry," said the princess. "You are a very good friend, and I appreciate all you've done for me, but I cannot marry you. You're a bear. I'm a princess. It would never work." The old bear was crushed. "Can we still be friends?" he asked. "We will always be friends," said the princess, "but I will never marry you." The old bear and the princess carried on their friendship, and after 1 year, he tried again to ask her to be his bride, but once again, she refused him. This happened 1 year later, and 1 year after that, and then finally, the princess said, "Old bear, you are my dear friend, and I appreciate all you have done for me, but I would sooner you have left me to the wolves than marry you. And that is how it will always be. I have my hands full with the 2 goblins who live under my house, and they are all I need." I'm gonna say something to that. That wounded the old bear deeply, but it was finally enough to stop his proposals. They remained friends, and he continued to give her gifts of fresh salmon and ripe berries and newly bloomed bluebells, but the old bear never again asked the princess to be his bride, much as he might have wanted to. And that is how the princess befriended the old bear, and how she refused him. I'm seeing some similarities. Is it possible that the princess might be Mary Ann and the goblins are Tyler and Alyson, and that, assuming that their dad has been dead for quite some time, there might have been another guy trying to get the attention of Mary Ann and trying to marry her? Maybe, just maybe. Okay, final story. The beaver fishes... Fishes? Fixes, I was about to say. The beaver fixes the house. It looks very weird. I don't know. Well, anyway. Once upon a time, in an ancient and deep forest, there lived a wise princess in a big wooden house. One night, a particularly violent storm shook the house. Sorry. The house was shooketh! I had to do that. It shook the shingles on the roof and the planks in the walls. It even shook the beams on which the house stood, blowing the whole thing near to the ground. The princess hid in a closet, fearing the house would come down on her as she slept. In the morning, the house was still standing, but it was badly damaged. The storm had blown shingles off the roof and planks off the walls and even bent a post upon which the house stood. The first two things she could fix, but the last concerned her. What will I do? Despaired the wise princess, for though she knew many things, she did not know how to fix the big wooden house. Just then, the old bear came by to see if the princess had any trouble in the storm. When he found her nailing planks back into place, he said, "Stop, princess. Let me do that for you." "I'm happy to do it," said the princess. "But if you want to help with the roof, you may." When the pair were done with the roof and the walls, they examined the bent support post. "I could throw my body against it," said the old bear. "I am very large." He stretched up onto his hind legs, being sure the princess would appreciate how very large he was, then charged straight at the post. He threw his body against it with an impressive thud. The impact moved the post, but too far, and it ended up bent in the other direction. The wise princess decided more precision was needed. She thought then of the very old beaver who kept an excellently crafted dam. Perhaps she can help. She went looking for the very old beaver and found the industrious animal hard at work, slapping down mud on a part of her dam that had been blown apart in the storm. Most of the structure was unharmed, because the beaver was very good at building things. The princess knew she had come to the right place. "Beaver," she said, "my house was damaged in the storm. Would you help me fix it?" "I believe I could do that, yes," said the very old beaver, and she paused at fixing her own dam to follow the princess. The very old beaver examined the big wooden house and nodded. "It will be an easy fix," she said, and she set about riding the post with loud slaps of her tail. When she was done, the wise princess stroked the beaver's head. Not hand. "Thank you, beaver," she said. "The wind blew the shingles off the roof and the planks off the walls and even bent this post. Now, thanks to you, I still have a home." "Think nothing of it," said the very old beaver, who returned to work on her own den once again. That winter, the very old beaver grew ill. Very ill. She was not able to fix her den, nor to gather food. When the princess found out, she set about delivering meals to the beaver. She brought stews of corn and beans, and baskets full of bark and twigs from the beaver's favorite aspen. One day, the wise princess noticed that the beaver's den had begun to fall apart. She set about fixing it, and though she was not as talented as the very old beaver, the fix kept the creature warm and dry. "Thank you," said the very old beaver. "Of course," said the princess. "You helped me when the storm blew my house near to the ground. Thanks to you, I still have a home, and I am happy to do the same." The princess continued to nurse the old beaver until the day she came to the dam and the forest was still. No birds sang, no branches rustled, no small things skittered within the underbrush. "Oh," said the princess, staring sadly at the dam, for she knew the old beaver had passed on. "Goodbye, my friend." And that is how the very old beaver saved the big wooden house, and how the wise princess repaid her kindness. I really like those stories, not gonna lie. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't know when I will continue to read those. I'm probably gonna keep playing the game for the time being now. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna read all of those stories at one point. But taking a look at my stopwatch, I've been recording for a little over 39 minutes now. So you know what that means. Thank you very much for watching. I have serious cotton mouth now. I'm gonna have to drink something after this recording. But again, thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you again very soon in the next episode of Tell Me Why, or in another game here on my channel. Bye!